Entering my junior season, expectations were incredibly high. I was tasked with bringing the best ever football team to Louisville. The best finish we ever had was as the number 6 team in the nation in 2004 with an 11-1 record. As I entered a new stage of my career as a veteran to the freshmen and sophomores entering the team, my leadership had significantly improved over the summer. I was working out with incoming freshman receivers and I was doing one-on-ones with my backup quarterbacks. I used to care a lot about individual stats and accolades, but now I believe that making the right play and bringing a great team atmosphere equates to winning, and winning will cure literally anything. And we got a little taste of success last season, and now we want the whole load. In our game against Notre Dame, I would show my versatility as both an elite Lamar Jackson-like runner and as an okay, passable Lamar Jackson-esque passer. I mean, seriously, just kidding. Lamar's passing gets slept on. As a matter of fact, though, as a Louisville alum, Lamar did work with me in the offseason on a few things. And no, it wasn't just sprints. Lamar taught me how to make throws when you have the worst receivers in the league. Basically, if you notice that the defense is playing man coverage, you just look down the field and then 2 seconds later, you just run it yourself. Fuck them receivers. Imagine thinking Odell is going to fix that team. Anyways, I got off topic, and I don't have bad receivers. Chris Bell and Amari are actually really good, and they took another step towards making the NFL this offseason for sure. And I couldn't forget Jawar Jordan. I was super happy he decided to return for his senior year. He is one of the fastest running backs in college football this year, and he is a pretty good power back too. Getting back to the game though, despite playing incredibly well on offense, we still only had 17 points, and we were down a score to Notre Dame. I took a deep shot and almost got picked off, but I didn't let that throw me off like it used to. I hit Amari on a slant to pick up the 3rd down on the next play, but he limped off the field. And then I told coach that we needed to go for it on 4th down later in the drive, or Notre Dame might put the game out of reach. And we got down to the 3-yard line, and we ran a really smart speed option to the right and got in for the touchdown. Coach told me that Amari was out the rest of the game, and he was likely going to miss about half of the season too. I rallied the team around me after Notre Dame scored another touchdown, and I asked them, who wants to eat a W? So I ran it for 48 yards, getting us back in the red zone. And then on 2nd and goal, Jawar Jordan just barely is not able to get into the end zone, but he's able to walk in for free on 3rd and goal to tie the game again. Somehow Notre Dame ends up turning the ball over on their own side of the field with 20 seconds left, leaving us an opportunity to kick a game-winning field goal, and we end up making it, walking off with a comeback win to start the season. And our second game wouldn't be any easier as we played against our state rivals, Kentucky. If you're still watching at this point in the video, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. 90% of you are not subscribed to the channel, but every sub is $1 donated to charity until we hit 1,000 subscribers. Anyway, let's get back to the video. With 3 minutes left in the first quarter, I broke away for a rushing touchdown, and then Kentucky ripped off 2 straight touchdown drives to take a 14-7 lead with 3 minutes left in the first half. Kentucky's defensive ends had been doing a really poor job of containing, so I got an easy opportunity to run outside to the right and had plenty of room to run down the field, but I made the horrible mistake of trying to put another move on a defender, and I turned the ball over on a fumble. Luckily, they didn't score, but I was definitely feeling Amari's absence on offense. He took the top off the defense and gave Chris Bell and Rich Crawford plenty of space to work underneath. Of course, without Marshawn Ford, our All-American tight end, on the roster this season, since he went to the NFL, questions came up about who is going to lead this team, and I didn't outright say that it was me because I wanted to show that it was me for my play on the field. Finally, having my ankle healed and my brace removed gave me so much more agility and acceleration. Once again, Kentucky's defensive ends did a poor job of containing, and I scrambled in for another touchdown to give us a 21-14 lead. And once again, what am I doing? I'm running outside of the pocket, finding plenty of room, and this time, I still had not learned my lesson, and I tried to jump over a defender, fumbling the ball before it can go out of bounds, though it was recovered by Kentucky. On the next drive, I threw a really bad interception that almost turned into a pick six. Luckily, he went down out of bounds near our 25-yard line, but they did end up tying the game 21-21. Rich Crawford is another one of those elite freshman receivers on the team. The only thing that's a bummer is that I wouldn't be able to see how good this dude is when he becomes a senior. I mean, I'll be able to watch him, but I won't be able to play on the same team as him. On 3rd and 9, I find an underutilized receiver, Elijah Downing, for another touchdown, and now it's 28-28 with 1:44 left in the 4th quarter, and we're marching down the field slowly, trying to use up all the clock that we possibly can. Jawar Jordan catches this ball on the flat and takes it for a 21-yard pickup, again, using that elite speed to create huge plays. Rich Crawford once again getting open with 1:18 left. And I guess Jawar Jordan was a little bit tired, so Maurice Turner has come in and picked up another 1st down. And at this point, we're just trying to waste clock and eventually kick a game-winning field goal. We do put 3 seconds left on the clock. We kick the field goal. It is going to be good, and we walk away with a close victory against Kentucky, our rival. It has been surprising that we've been able to walk away with wins in 2 very close games, but in our 3rd game of the season, we're playing against an FCS East team, which should be an easy W. In a game like this, with Amari out, Kenny Wiggins and Rich Crawford really wanted to show out and get their stats up. Des Wes Melton, on the other hand, our new starting tight end, has been pretty quiet overall aside from the one big touchdown that he had in the Kentucky game. And again, with that ankle healed up, these runs are so easy to make. And on the very next play, I pull off a Patrick Mahomes-esque pass, throwing it backwards as I'm running past the line of scrimmage, basically turning it into an option play. And we run another option on the very next play. I decided to keep it for myself this time, run it in for an easy touchdown score, giving us a 31-7 lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And this game is essentially over. Again, keeping the option for myself. I get great blocks and run it all the way in for another touchdown. And we walk out with the easy W over the FCS East team. I finished with 300 passing yards and 130 rushing yards and 5 total touchdowns.